Sword Art Online is nothing more than a pretty wrapped generic fantasy show. It is not well written. It is not well paced. It has a terrible problem that even its own author admitted to.
Where Dot Hack is slow and paced out, Sword Art's like, oh, we're OP as shit, Omega Plot Armor activate.
Watching it further, I'm just like, this is stupid. This is stupid. This is stupid. Stupid. As it kept continuing, I'm just like, oh my god, we're going in this direction now. It started with a good idea, it could have been good, but it died. In the past, we have taunted a certain show repeatedly. With a rant already made, we felt our audience would know and understand our reasons for why we personally dislike this show. Over 200,000 subscriptions later, more people like to question how we can despise a title so popular and adored by thousands of fans around the world. Well, I guess the rant is no longer good enough. We must address in a proper review how we here at Anime America really feel about this strange story of love and survival, Sword Art Online. Ready, Megan?
Let's do this.
In the year 2022, virtual reality has progressed by leaps and bounds, and a massive online role-playing game called Sword Art Online is launched. I don't know, if we didn't get our hoverboards in 2015, chances are virtual reality is not going to be that good in 6 years. With the aid of Nerve Gear technology, players can control their avatars within the game using nothing but their own thoughts. Kazuto Kirigaya, aka Kirito, is among the lucky few enthusiasts who get their hands on the first shipment of the game. He logs in to find himself with 10,000 others in the scenic and elaborate world of Aincrad, one full of fantastic medieval weapons and gruesome monsters. However, in a cruel turn of events, the players soon realize they cannot log out, for the game's creator has trapped them in this new world until they can complete all 100 levels of the game. In order to escape Aincrad, Kirito will now have to interact and cooperate with his fellow players, like Asuna Yuki, a strong, competent fighter who leads a group of her own to escape the ruthless game. To make matters worse, Sword Art Online is not all fun and games. If they die in Aincrad, they die in real life. Kirito must adapt to his new reality and hopefully break free from his virtual hell. So, for this review, we're going to take turns analyzing and explaining what we like and don't like about Sword Art Online. We're not here to mock you on your love for the show, we're just here to go over our perspective on this show. The main problem that we see in the show are two factors: the story structure and the characters. When we did our Anime Awards 2012, we placed Sword Art Online under Most Disappointing Anime. This is because the very beginning of the anime had great promise. Gamers who are forced to play a game to the death. It's life or death for these people, and there's no other alternative. That's hell! Given the overall scenario and presentation, the story showed great promise. So, what happened? How did this show that started out great at the very beginning down spiraled into a lazily written mess? A story of hopeless souls trapped in a dangerous game to the death turns into a chosen one story with Kirito-kun and his harems. And that's where we just analyze the story's main flaw: the characters, especially Kirito.
The biggest problem with Sword Art Online is in Kirito. In itself, this is something that can break a series. Having a weak lead, not in terms of power, but in writing and characterization, can break a series. And that's honestly what did Sword Art Online in for me. Kirito is a weak character. He's as shallow as a Walmart kiddie pool. I'm gonna break this down into a bit of academic terms, so bear with me here. Kirito is an otaku power fantasy. He's just too good. He's a gamer from a region known for its prowess, who has almost every female that he meets that gets a day in the sun to love him, sans Shion, and Yuki, that's because Shion may be the only competently written chick in this story, and Kirito is merely a side dish for the Mother Rosario arc. The only other major female not in love with him is his daughter figure.
Yeah, in the middle of this chaos and sorrow, at least we get a side story with Kirito raising a digital child. I thought he was stuck in Sword Art Online, not Tomodachi life.
It's frustrating. You can have characters be in love, but not put one partner on a pedestal to tear the other ones down. You can make a character a powerful warrior, with flaws that they are too strong that they drive others away, or that they're so transfixed on goals that they lose sight of things. You can make their flaws that they're too kind-hearted, and bear too much of the burden of others. Kirito fails at all of this besides at one major point in the show, the arc about the guild of less powerful players. Sword Art Online would have fared better keeping that tone. I'm not saying the show needs to be grim dark or anything, but never once did I feel any sense of threat and urgency to Kirito's fate. Hell, not even to Asuna or the others, because I felt like that threat was gone. The show seemed to forget it too. To quote a quite popular anime meme, people die when they are killed. Sword Art Online makes it clear that these people are dying because of this shit. But no, we don't get to dwell on that. We gotta have a fake baby in marriage time.
Thousands of innocent people are dying one by one in a world they're trapped in? Who cares? It's the adventures of Kirito-kun and his waifu as they play Sims Online. Any more life simulators I can make fun of? My Sims, maybe? Looks anime-ish enough.
Sword Art Online never lived up to feeling anything like the weight and levity it had to the situation. When characters die or die in front of people in battle, it's going to leave a mental scar. Unless you're asking me to suspend my disbelief to make me think that Kirito was so traumatized that he blocked 3+ seasons of this out, you've gotta be kidding me. It should wear on him. It should be affecting him and all of the other characters in some little way. Small gestures, gazes, things about their movements. It draws what a good anime is into being a great anime. And it's all these little things that show how Sword Art Online is weak compared to anything that comes out after it. Shows like Parasite, Tokyo Ghoul, Noragami, and Blood Blockade Battlefront outdo it. Hell, even shows that are as silly as Seraph of the End outdo Sword Art Online in the character department. I'll be the first person to admit that I like some pretty damn sketchy stuff. I love trash. But there are things done in these shows that characters overcome. For example, Yu from Seraph of the End is a fucking moron. But there's a mention as to why he's so transfixed on his idiot idea of revenge and getting his family back. It's how he was explicitly told to live when he felt as if he shouldn't due to the trauma of his past.
Speaking of silly shows that are better, even Food Wars Shokugeki no Soma stands out above Sword Art Online. As ridiculous and outrageous the fan service can get, the characters are 100% relatable, memorable, and remarkable. It takes great characters to carry on a story, even if that story is dumb as hell. With Soma, he started off as a Mr. Know-It-All chef who thinks he's better than most of the other students because he has restaurant experience. Along the way, however, he meets really diverse chefs who put him down to his level and teach him he has so much more to learn in life. This gives us a good character since he has skills and flaws, showing that he's arrogant but human. That's good storytelling. Sadly, with how promising the story was for Sword Art Online, it couldn't carry through with a lead like Kirito. As Megan said, he had flaws, especially when he got those poor players killed through his mistakes. That traumatized him, but as the show progressed, Kirito did not. He kept to his Gary Sue way and somehow became the center of attention.
And honestly, it reflects on the other characters as well. Asuna is turned into a piece of tentacle attached to meat. She's all but dumbed down to make Kirito look better. She was presented as just as much of a badass as he was in Season 1, and they go and reduce her to a side note romance, and then have the outright balls to make her Tinkerbell in a cage for Lord and Master Todd fucking Habercorn's stupid fairy tentacle villain. And honestly, it reflects badly that at least 2 male villains in the show did their deeds, because how dare a chick not fucking like them? It's weak writing. I'll give the Aincrad arc some points, because hey, at least Heathcliff was a smart and good villain, and hell, he was smart enough to force Kirito to join his party.
That's pretty diabolical when you think about it, but it still doesn't excuse how flawed this series is. With the writing spiraling down into a cheap product and the characters being demoted down to bad harem levels, Sword Art Online to us is an overhyped series full of overlooked flaws that we cannot ignore. Granted, I will say Sword Art Online 2 made some improvements with the characters. Story-wise, however, it felt like they had to add in unnecessary elements to bring in the drama. You almost forget the point that these are people playing a massive online MMORPG. Kirito has to find a person in GGO who's been killing players in the game and in real life with a special kind of gun. What's gonna happen? How's he gonna stop him? Oh, someone has AIDS. That's not necessary. You've got enough to bring in the crowd. A mysterious player killing people in the game one by one. That's enough. But no, you need to bring in another plot just for tier bait. On a scale of unnecessary tier baits, Sword Art Online 2 almost reached Plastic Memories unnecessary. Oh, great, now I gotta do a Plastic Memories review. In the end, this show is loved by everyone for their own reasons, and we choose not to watch it for our own reasons.
And if you enjoyed Sword Art Online, good for you. It's got a nice soundtrack, good animation, and I'll admit as the first 4 episodes went, I was engaged. But the point still stands that I do not personally like the show. I can admit this, but I can understand why a lot of people do like it. It's still a good gateway into anime. It's mediocre, but it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. If you like it's cool. Just respect that we don't.
What we're saying is we'll respect you if you respect us. As entertainers and reviewers, we make fun of a lot of anime. Not just Sword Art Online. We've made worse jokes in the past with other animes, such as, "She just got Marco'd." This brought up a sensitive scene people cried over from Attack on Titan, but people got a good laugh out of it. Me repeating Schrödinger getting shot over and over again just for fun. It was gory, but people still got a laugh out of it. But when it comes to making fun of Sword Art Online, that's when people say we go too far. We understand that you love the show, and though we do not understand why, we can all agree that we all have our different tastes in anime. Still, you can't cry outrage and threaten to unsubscribe just because we don't like the show but love to make fun of it. You have your opinions, and we have our own. We need to respect each other as well as learn how to take a joke. You can make fun of me for loving Sailor Moon, and Megan's love for stupid vampire boy love stories.
I'm not even ashamed.
Jokes are jokes, and everyone's got an opinion. In the end, you can like what you like, as we can do the same. You can make jokes, and we can make jokes. As long as we can respect each other's opinions and different tastes in anime, then everything is fine and dandy. If you like Sword Art Online, it's yours to like. If you meet people like us who do not like that show, debate with each other like well-behaved human beings should. You know, instead of downright insulting people like us and saying we're better off dead since we disrespect your favorite anime of all time. Seriously, some of you out there need some serious anime and chill time.
In the end, would we recommend Sword Art Online?
I don't really think that's for us to decide. I'd say see it for yourself and make your own choice. It seems like with Clannad, the viewership is split in half. One half doesn't like it, and the other half worships each frame of animation that flickers in front of their eyes.
We may not like this show, but we're not saying that you shouldn't watch it. Check it out and see for yourself. Sadly, Aniplex does have the distribution rights to this series, so be prepared to pay a hefty penny when purchasing the series. That or get yourself a Hulu or Crunchyroll account and watch all of the episodes there.
If you're interested to see what all the fuss is about, check out Sword Art Online and form your own opinion. Just be respectful to those who have an opposing opinion than yours. Want to support the production? Check out our Patreon page. Any amount you wish to give us goes towards our production needs. To keep up with the latest in Anime America stuff, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and even Tumblr. Be sure to like, favorite, and subscribe to Anime America for more awesome reviews and top 10 lists. If you're interested in anything of pop culture, be sure to subscribe to Pop Spectrum. Thank you all for watching, and stay tuned to Anime America.